Hello everyone, I'm the Mole Man, and welcome back to Train Simulator. We are at Bedford. Yes, we're at Bedford today. I thought we'd do a run on the Midland Mainline. It's currently 2001, proper Midland Mainline era, and just to prove that, here comes a Valenta HST, which is very nice. Now this line's known for 319s, HSTs, 222s, all that lot, but we're not going to be driving any of those today. No, it'd be nice to drive the HST of course, but we'll save that for another day I think. No, what we're driving's right behind us. So yeah, just race past to reveal the Class 170. Yes, I thought we'd do this today. Let's see what it says. Good evening. Throughout the day there is an hourly stopping service from Derby through to St Pancras with the Turbostar fleet. I'm going to get the doors open. Typically, the stopping pattern is Long Eaton, Loughborough, Leicester, Market Harborough, Kettering, Wellingborough, Bedford, Luton Airport Parkway, and then St Pancras of course, offering a journey time of 135 minutes. Tonight you oversee the penultimate service, 1 Charlie 51, and you're appointed to the final stretch to London. As stated earlier, you'll only call at Luton Airport Parkway before arriving into London at approximately 1932. Well, there we go then. So we depart here at 1852, Luton Airport Parkway and St Pancras. Right, how are we doing? The doors are open, everything's all good. As you can see, it's proper Thameslink, classic Thameslink era, which is very nice. The 319s did look rather splendid in this livery, I believe. I believe? No, I know. I don't believe that. Oh, there's another one! Hey. Oh, you're kind of in my way, but it's fine, whatever. Very nice. I do love 319s. Hey, that was cool. Try and get a screenshot with all of the trains in, maybe. Preferably without any sort of things in the way. There we go, that'll do. Lovely stuff. Right, do we have the road? We do have the road. Excellent. We've got a single yellow. That's all we need. That's all we need. Everything's all set up in here. It's just a case of waiting for us to be able to go, which is, what, 20 seconds? Yeah, 20 seconds. Oh, see the 319. Lovely. Got a higher than usual FOV set, so clip through some train cabs. That's fine. Bus. Right. Ready to go. Doors closed. Get the ding ding. Ding ding. There it is. Buzz buzz. Let's go. Luton Airport Parkway, 20 miles. Try and take it fairly easy. If it's just a single yellow, we don't want to run straight into a red at the very beginning, do we? No, we do not. No, we do not. So we've got Bedford sidings here. Got some 319s. That's about it these days, just full of 700s. So there we go. Oh, don't want to completely release the power there. I do wish I'd have seen the 319s in that livery. It's something I've never seen. They should put a 700 in it as well. That'd be nice. Because it's been about, give or take, if you include Network South East and other liveries like Southern, about 12 different liveries throughout the past sort of few decades have ran on the Midland Mainline and through Thameslink. And because 700s are 12 coaches long, you could have one in each livery, which I think is really cool. It's something that I came up with some time ago. I'll see if I can put it up on the screen for you now. It was just such a cool idea I had, and I'd love to see Thameslink do it one day. They never will, but I'd like to see it happen. I'd like to see it happen. Right, how are we doing signals wise? Red. Okay. I mean, I assume we're taking the fasts, and I assume that means we don't have priority, which means there's something's going to come racing up behind us in a minute. In theory. Let's have a look. No idea. Well, we'll find out. Let's make sure we're going nice and slowly. But considering there's a green signal on the fast next to us, that would make me suggest that we are waiting for something to overtake. Which is all good fun. So we'll bring her to a stop there and wait to see if anything turns up. Oh, yeah, we've got a HST approaching. Oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. And hopefully I've got the camera out of the way. I think I have. There she goes! Very nice. And a screenshot just to top it all off there. Right, so once these out of the way, and we'll get the road, and he'll be going faster than us, so we won't catch up to him again, unless he stops anywhere else, which he shouldn't do. He should just go fast to London, so he should hopefully not be a problem anymore. So now just wait for this signal to go yellow, which it should do any second now. Or not. There we go. There we go. Right. Power. And we're off. We're off. Very nice. Get ourselves onto the fasts, and we'll be good. We'll be good. I do like the 170 EP. Apart from the horn, I still don't like the horn. It's like, it sounds very fake. It sounds synthesized, which is, it probably isn't, but it just sounds it. Just sounds it. But no, given the 375, 377 EP is on the horizon, I thought we'd drive the Turbostar, because soon we'll be driving an enhanced Electrostar, which is very nice. So yes, I thought that made sense. And on a route that, one, I've not driven in ages, and two, you don't really see this anymore. You don't really see this anymore. And I don't know if East Midlands Railway would ever do it, because they've got one of these in the new EMR sort of purple livery now, but they don't run on this line, so that's probably not something that will be seen. But the new Hitachi units, the 810s or something, that EMR are getting, but they'll look good. They'll look good. And the 360s as well, going away from GA and heading onto the Midland Mainline. That'll be interesting. Seeing them in a different livery will be nice, because even though they've been in several different, because GA's gone through National Express liveries, it's gone through the Abellio white and red, but the 360s have always been in the same blue and white stripe. They've never changed liveries. Obviously you've got the Heathrow ones, and not talking about those, talking about the Great Eastern ones. They've always been in the same blue and white stripe livery, so seeing them in something different like a purple is going to be very nice. It's going to be very nice indeed. Another HST. Cool. Oh, and a 319. Look at this action. Very nice. Very nice. Get us up to speed. Yeah, green signals now. We're all good. That HST's long ahead of us now. So it should mean, unless anything overtakes us again, which I doubt, we should have a clear slot into London. Yeah, that's the one. It's good to know, isn't it? After several years of doing this YouTube arc, I still can't talk to save my life. What fun. So yeah, our top speed's going to be 100 instead of the 110, which is the line speed. So if anything's behind us, that'll start stacking up. That's good. Let's have a line of HSTs waiting to come into St Pancras. Of course, this is set in 2001, which in reality St Pancras wouldn't actually look like how it's going to look in this, because 2001's before it was all upgraded to support Eurostars, so we would in reality be going into the main train shed, but given this scenario is set on a modern version of the Midland Mainline, we will be going into the newly built section that is shared with Southeastern and the other half of Eurostar, because their trains are so bloody long. So that's interesting. I would love to see a historical St Pancras one day. One of my sort of dream routes. So I've got, there's lots I'd love to see, but one of my sort of dream routes is the Midland Mainline in about 1986, roughly, because you've got the old St Pancras where the glass roof, the glass arched roof, was mostly metal panels because it was bombed in World War II, and they didn't replace it with glass back then. They just put wooden panels on. No, not wooden, metal panels on. So it was dark, it was dingy. Then you had the Valenta HSTs still holding on to their executive livery, some still holding on to BR Blue, a couple going into the new Intercity Swallow back then. You had the 317s, which were originally on the Midland Mainline, doing what the 700s do today. Then you've got the last remaining peaks, the 45s, which, you know, just sort of had the Mark IIs and stuff. Could just about fit the introduction of the 319s in there if you wanted to, and some, you know, classic British locos on freights, sort of north of Cricklewood, etc. That's the route that I would love to see one day. A St Pancras St Pancras in the 1980s, but there's a video on YouTube somewhere. I think it's of St Pancras in 1986, and it just sort of sums up that experience. There's you could probably still get away with some DMUs as well that used to run on the line before it was electrified. So that's sort of my dream route, really. Whether it will happen one day, who knows? I know there's lots of creative people out there, but making St Pancras back then, that wouldn't be easy. That's a lot of work, that is. Another 170, look at that! And a lot of lag, lovely. It's tile loading. Oh well. It's weird that the limits through these tunnels are lower. There must be a logical reason for it. There's one thing I've noticed as well, because sort of last year I started doing a lot more train journeys I've never done before, and that included going up the East Coast Main Line and Midland Mainline as well. In the other direction, I went all the way up to Sheffield, which was good fun. But one thing I noticed, which I've never noticed before, because up until that point I'd only ever done high speed on HS1, and their tunnels are a wide bore. They were built wide bore because of the higher speed, because you don't want the pressure being too high and having tunnel boom at the other end and stuff like that, so you've got wide bore tunnels. But if you've got a standard tunnel and you go through it at 125, your ears pop. You know, it's the pressure change just gets to you straight away, and it's something I've never experienced like that until last year, which is really weird. So yeah, going along at 125 in a HST or something, go through a tunnel, your ears goes. It's just really weird, but it's good fun. It's good fun. 319. Lovely. Right, how are we doing? Ah, Flitwick, I believe. Is this Flitwick? That makes sense. Unless I've already been through it and I've not been paying attention. That'd be bad, wouldn't it? No, that's Flitwick. That's Flitwick. Yes. Okay. It's mad how long this takes in a 700 on a stopper. It's ridiculous, but it's all good fun. Alright. We don't want to exceed 100 because that would be breaking the limit of the train. You can see there's a red line on the speedo there telling us what the max speed is. The train can go faster, but we shouldn't really, because a lot of trains can go faster than they say. Like, talk about 700s again. If you took their limiters off, they can easily do over 125, easily. If you think about the modern technology that's in them, you know, the acceleration they've got and the power that's behind them, if you just let them go and let them keep going, they would go over 125. But of course, that's not the best idea in the world, especially not with the type of bogies they've got, and it's not what they're designed to do, so they're limited to 100. But there's a lot of trains like that, where if you just let them go, they would go faster. Like the 455s are limited to 75, but they can easily go over 90 if you push them. So yeah, we're not going to do that today. We're not going to try and speed run in the 170. We're just going to get ourselves to Luton, which we've already done over 12 miles. It's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. Take us no time. I've also noticed the sun seems to have a bit more of effect on the shadows there. Ah, we can see it, yes. The sky's probably going to clear up, which is very nice. The AP weather is great for that. Loads of different presets. So, whilst it started off overcast, it might be sunny by the time we get to London, which would be very nice. I'll take a screenshot again shortly. I've noticed we're not actually gaining any speed whatsoever. Come on. Our RPM was really low. Don't know what happened there. Reapply power seems to have done the trick. Hopefully we'll make it to Luton on time. We've lost 10 miles an hour. That was weird. Oh well. We're gaining speed again. I was thinking a 1 in 200 is not enough to slow us down. Turbostars aren't that bad. What Turbostars have I been on? I think I've only ever been on a 171. Oh, I know, well, I'd say a 168, but they're technically Clubmans, not Turbostars. They're essentially the same thing, and some of them are ex-Turbostars. So it's a little odd, but yeah, generally speaking, I've only ever really been on a 171. To my knowledge, anyway. I don't ever think I've been on a 170. I've not really been anywhere to go on a 170. But with East Midlands are getting like most of them in the country at some point. Even the 171s for Southern are scheduled to go to EMR, which is very interesting because it just begs the question: what is going to replace the 171s? What's going to replace the 171s on Southern? Because the Uckfield line and the Marshalink aren't electrified. So there's going to be 2 or 3 options here. New build trains that are bi-mode, but they're not going to have the time to do that. East Midlands Railway wants the 171s next year, I think. So there's not going to be time to design, order a new fleet of trains for that. So what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Are they going to electrify the lines? Is it going to be third rail, which technically they're not allowed to do anymore? Will it be overhead and they'll have to add pantograph to some Electrostars? Or will they put batteries on Electrostars? I guess we'll find out one day. But it's going to be weird having the 171s go. It's pretty much all I've ever seen on the Marshalink. Because I wasn't really around in the Thumper days. So, interesting. I've noticed, yeah, when we went over 100, our RPM dropped down to 660. And now it won't go back up again. That's interesting. I think if we speed, it cuts off our power. Yeah, see, there we go. Bring it back up. Our RPM did something then. Yeah, so if we speed, it seems to drop our RPM off. See, that's clever. That's clever. I believe the 68 EP does that as well. If you go to get to 102, it stops you from going any further. And the station. Luton Airport Parkway is not far away at all. Another 319. I do wish the Thameslink timetable had come in a few years earlier, like the newer one, because that would have meant 319s through like Medway and stuff. That would have been cool. That would have been cool. On the Luton to Raynhams. But having said that, I do love 700s, so it's all good. I'm waiting for the day one accidentally or whatever has to go down the Murray Valley. Like if a 700 ever comes to Train Sim, one of the first scenarios I'm going to write, it'll be fictional, it's going to be like oh no, this train that was doing a Raynham service now has to go and do a Sevenoaks service. Go down to Tunbridge. That's just exactly the sort of thing I'd like to see happen. I just love that. Right, so we're about to go through Luton. Yeah, we're about to go through Luton, I believe, and then stop at Luton Airport Parkway. I'm going to slowly bring the speed down for that 90. So here's Luton. We're not stopping at Luton. Lots of trains at Luton. We're stopping at Luton Airport Parkway. That's about half the route done already then. It's weird that, with the BML and the MML. They're about 50 miles. So Bedford's about 50 miles north, Brighton's 50 miles south, and there's an airport at the halfway point. I find that really interesting on both of them. It's cool. It's cool. Alright, speed's coming down fairly nicely. We've got a nice uphill to finish us off here as well. Are there going to be stop markers for a train this short? I can't see anything. That's good fun. Oh well. Also more or less on time as well, even though I lost 10 miles an hour. I think it's just going to be a case of stop wherever makes sense. Alright, we'll just get S-car marker, yeah. That makes sense. Or near enough. Going right up to the marker is always terrifying because you never know if you're going to screw the doors opening up or not. So that'll do. This is Luton Airport Parkway. And isn't it amazing? Look at that. Lovely. Now would be a perfect time for HST to come flying around the corner, just saying. Not going to happen, is it? Clearly not. Clearly not. I do love this livery. And interestingly enough, on one of the HSTs now, like today, the depot sneakily stuck on a Midland Mainline logo on the front of 43089, I think, which is pretty cool. How much longer are we here for? No idea. No idea. Come on, HST, come around the corner. I dare you. Or 319. Or a pair of them double, sort of parallel running. That'd be great. Parallel running is one of the best things about railways. And you know, you won't understand unless you've experienced it. It'll be a case of, you just look out the window, you see a train sort of further alongside you that's going at the exact same speed. There is nothing like it. It's amazing. It's amazing. Come on, I want to go! It says the whole journey from Derby takes 135 minutes. I can see why. You spend most of it sat here. Alright, interlock. Hey. Go. 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 Notch 7. Departure. What can possibly go wrong? Listen to that. I know you get people who say that like the Valentia is hellfire, etc. And it is. It is. But all diesel trains are, if you ask me. Because that is a nice noise right there. Anything that just makes a vroom, you know, like a exciting explosion of noise is just great. Echoes, we're going to a bridge. The sky's getting a bit clearer, which is very nice. St Pancras. Be there at 19:35, it reckons. And we'll see what happens. Hopefully we will. I really want a screenshot with the HST. Whether it will happen or not remains to be seen. But I reckon we can get a good one right about here. Something like that, maybe. They're all going to be the same on this route. It's a very samey route throughout. Not until you get right up to close to London. I believe actually this is a modded version of the 170 that has a passenger view. Yes, there we go. So it's just that someone's made a passenger view that sits inside the external model, but it's better than nothing. Better than nothing. a very odd speed limit of 105. There's not that many speed limits you come across that end in 5 in this country. You get 45, 15, but a lot of it's usually 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. There must be a very specific reason why it's 105 through here. Like, it can go faster than 100 but not quite 110. This corner maybe. Because all sorts affect speed limits. It can be, you know, sharpness of a curve, it can be the terrain the railway's built on. Like if it's a soft ground and a train went through there too quickly, it could dislodge the ground underneath it. Which is always good fun. Because you get temporary speed restrictions, they're always nice. Not. Some are okay. A 30 is fine, it doesn't really slow you down all too much. But I have been in a 395 that we had a suspected broken rail in front of us, and they decided to keep the line open until it was checked, but with a 5 mile an hour temporary speed restriction. Nothing takes longer on the planet than a 6-car 395 crawling through a 5-car. It's a 5 mile per hour limit, because you've got to be at 5 at the start, and you're at 5 until the rear passes through the other end of the restriction. It takes forever. It takes forever. It's just, yeah, ridiculous. But, you know, safety first, all that makes sense. I see a train. I'll take a screenshot with you. I'm not against that idea. Yeah, that's good. Look at that. What a duo. What a pairing. Lovely. Bus! Random buses. Love it. Almost at 100. Right, let's keep an eye on what happens to the RPM this time, or let's just not exceed 100. That's the other option. The stations will start ramping up now. Harpenden. Let's power off. Oh, look at this action! Very nice. Screenshot. Not the best location in the world for a screenshot, but it will do, it will do. Yes, stations south of Luton start ramping up pretty quickly. Pretty quickly. So that's good. Which is why it takes forever to do a stopping service, because of how many stations there are. We get to race through them all. About to go down the hills, that's good fun. Could you see the summit? And levelling off, and down we go. Is that another HST? Oh no, we've got a 319 on the fasts. Lovely. Come on. Try and stay at 100, shall we? 100 limit approaching, good fun. I do like the Midland Mainline. I liked it more after going on it for real, because up until last year, I think the furthest that I'd ever been was like Cricklewood or something. Something like that, I can't remember specifically. But then I did the whole thing to Bedford at one point, and then I did the whole thing to Sheffield. And until that point, I didn't really care for the Midland Mainline all that much. It's just one of those routes that just existed. But now that I've done it, I've got an appreciation for it. HST! Of course it's going to take another screenshot. What are you on about? Perfect. Look at that. Lovely. Yeah, as I was saying, I prefer the Midland Mainline now, and I like driving it more after doing it in real life. And the same can be said for the West Coast Mainline, really. Like, I didn't care for any of it, but I've done the Trent Valley a few times now in real life, and I've done Liverpool through to London, so stuff like the Missing Link from Alan Thompson's sim. Being able to do the Liverpool bit, Liverpool to Crewe and stuff, that was nice. I enjoyed that, and I'll do a video on that at some point. It's tricky, I don't know when to do these sort of things, because it's the Missing Link and they're always introducing new phases. It's like, if I wait long enough, we can do the whole West Coast Main Line, which would be cool. It'll be very cool. So that'll be something I'll do one day, for sure. Racing through now. Old signal box, lovely. Good fun, this. Just racing along 100 miles an hour. Turbostar. I do wish that we had the C2C line and the early Electrostars, because the 357s have this front. It's an Electrostar with this front, which is just so cool. It's so cool. But we don't have that, unfortunately. Running it along now, nothing in our way. 18 miles left to go. It's all good. And the best part is no 319s can overtake us on the way, because we're going faster. Or at least we're stopping at less places. It can go faster. No, it can't. It can't go faster. It's a 319. Then again, I don't know what I'm talking about. My train of thought just constantly derails when doing these things, because I'm trying to pay attention to everything. Like the AI that's approaching us on the on both lines. Oh yeah. Oh yes, look at this. I love that. He's going quite slowly. There must be a station around the corner. That's good fun. I like a nice busy route like this. There's trains, both sides coming at you, just shoom shoom. It's brilliant. Interesting bit of track here, and I want to just have a mess around with it one day. It's just a big loop. It's just a big loop. I just want to run trains around it for hours. Just see how quickly you can do it. But not today. We're driving this today. .7106. Very impressed with how they did the headlights as well. Because the 170 in TS has only got the large headlight variant. So under there is the original headlights. You can just about see the shape of where they used to be. But no, AP managed to cover them up and put the old style headlights on, which is what the Electrostar EP has as well, which is very nice. I'm going to do so many videos on that, you have no idea. So as soon as it releases, first looks and driving it on Melbourne Valley and Chatham Mainline and London Brighton, swapping it out in every possible scenario I can. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. You're going to be sick to death of the Electrostar EP, because I'm going to do so many videos on it. It's unreal. Right, it's not speed, please. That's it. Let's stick it to 100. And I expect it's getting worse. We're getting closer to London. Scenery tiles will have more and more and more on them. That's always fun. I'd love to, yeah, just know what this approach was like before they redid St Pancras. Because yeah, taking this under the shed, the main train shed, would be very nice one day. I should do a video on the Just Trains Midland Mainline as well at some point. Although at this point I might wait for the Derby... No, not Derby, it starts at Derby. It's like Leicester and Nottingham extension they're doing. I might wait for that. See what sort of scenarios that comes with, and then do a video on that. Now I'm wondering if they will actually complete the MML, like head south toward Bedford, and then would they take this Midland Main Line, or would they do their own? We'll never know. But, well, we will know eventually, we'll find out, I'm sure. Considering that Western Main Lines is pretty much complete now. It'd be interesting to see if they do complete the Midland Main Line. Because I believe there are a few aspects of this which could be upgraded in some regards, especially when it comes to the platform lengths. I believe some of those have changed since this was made, because this is technically FCC era, and some platforms lengths were extended for the 700s, so I think so anyway. So that'd be good. And a proper Thameslink route would be great, because we have no canal tunnels, and if you don't know what they are, from St Pancras, trains just used to go down towards London Bridge and Brighton and stuff like that. But now, when heading north, because I mentioned that the wrong way round, because I'm an idiot, you can either go up the Midland Main Line, or you can go through the canal tunnels and get onto the East Coast Main Line. Because Thameslink now runs services to Peterborough and Cambridge and stuff. And it'd be cool to have that link in Trainsim, because then you could do Peterborough to Brighton. That'd be good fun. Because right now we can only go from Brighton to Bedford. But doing Brighton-Peterborough would be cool. Get a bit more power on. Less than 10 miles to go till St Pancras. Which is very nice. I think this is the M11. I can never remember. I think it's the M11. Because I think there's some routes that follow motorways like that. I believe we follow the M11 into London. It's either that or the M1. I can never remember. Nice. .7 miles. Oh, 66! Hey, freight! That's cool. That was a nice addition. I wasn't expecting to see that, that's cool. I love just seeing anything different like that. Like, even if the same freight train runs every day, if I happen to see it, it just puts a smile on my face. It's good fun. I'm looking forward to seeing trains again. It's been far too long. Speed limit's dropping down to 95 shortly. We'll start getting more and more sort of integrated into London, because the North London line's going to cross over us. And so are some other lines, I think, as well. Yeah, it's like North London line's going to go over us. We're going to be adjacent to some other lines. It's all good fun. I believe this is Cricklewood Depot. Warning us to the 95, no problem. So I believe that's Cricklewood Depot. Lots of space for lots of trains. And the speed limit's gradually decreasing now as we get closer and closer to London. if that's Cricklewood Depot, that means this should be Cricklewood. In theory. Yep. Lovely. Come on. Don't fail me now, game. Speed down to 85, then 80. Sort of gradually descending downhill as well. Lots of stations. This looks like West Hampstead Thameslink. That's because it is. North London Line going above us right there. Which is very cool. These days, 378s. Back when this scenario is set, 313s I think. So that's cool. And into the tunnel. It's one of those nice routes where you keep your speed up until you're right close. But we've only dropped off 20 miles an hour. Cool! Clag factor 10! Lovely. I still see it. Gotta love HSTs. $75, $60, $50. It's all good. It's all good. Just making our way right into London. Are we gonna have a platform? That's the question. 2 miles, overtaking a 319, very cool. That's the first 319 we've actually caught up to in all this. Hello! Maggie! Maggie, hello. You're gonna go, yeah, somewhere else. I believe that line goes off actually to the Goblin line. That tunnel portal we just saw there. Somewhere along here there is a connection to the Goblin. It probably is here. Because this is Kentish Town. We just sneak past. You see nothing! Will you wait for your slow train into London? We're getting the fast train in. That's it. And yeah, we've got a clear run in to St Pancras Platform 3. Very nice. Make sure we hit that 20 in good time. Start bringing the speed down. Still going downhill. And the start of the yellow signals. Just to bring us into a red at the end of the platform, which is exactly what we're looking for. There goes the Thameslink core underground there. Lovely. Well, there. Same sort of thing. Oh, another 170. Yep. Always accelerating. Lovely. Right, and now we just steady ourselves into St Pancras, which we can see in the distance. There it is. Not going under the shed state, but yeah. Cleared into platform 3. Something's cleared into platform 5 as well, by the looks of things. I very much doubt it somehow. We can put a bit of speed on. Going a smidge too slowly. But we're here, and in good time as well, I think. I mean, we've got no scheduled arrival time, but our ETA sort of kept up all right. Go over some broken track work. All good. Oh, shut up with your speeding. Going downhill, I don't care. HSTs everywhere, lovely. Just picture that we're going into the train sheds and none of this modern bit exists, and this will be fine. Because, obviously, these days, 395s are up on the left there, Eurostars in the middle, and EMR on these platforms here. We have arrived at London St Pancras. It is, honestly, especially like this, one of the most, if not the most beautiful station in London. Dare I say the country. I adore St Pancras. I mean, just look at that grand shed. Barlow blue. That clock, I believe, is what, 3 or 5 meters in diameter? It's ridiculous. I absolutely love it. Hello, HST. God, he's clagging quite a lot for being on idle. And we've made it. Doors. Headlights off. Tail lights on. Get us into neutral. There we go. We have made it. The 170. Not really a train you're supposed to do a stopping service to London in, but that was a nice run nonetheless. I don't know what Midland Mainline were thinking, but it sure as hell led to a good scenario and a nice run into London. All those years later, so I can take it. You have completed this scenario successfully. That I have indeed. Thank you very much for watching this one, and I will see you in the next video.